What if I told you there is an operating system for the mind, designed over 2,000 years ago, capable of granting you tranquility in the heart of the storm? What if you could face the chaos of daily life, not with more force, but with deeper wisdom? What if you had the power to turn obstacles into opportunities, anxiety into calm, and anger into insight? This is not a superpower reserved for a select few. It is a practical philosophy, lived and practiced by some of the greatest figures in history. A slave who was freed to become one of the greatest teachers, a fabulously wealthy political advisor who faced death with a smile, and a Roman emperor who ruled the most powerful empire on earth, and who wrote every night in his private journal on how to be a better human being. Welcome to Cogitoski, your quiet space where the depth of philosophy and the clarity of logic meet the serenity of nature. Grab your cup of coffee or tea, and let's begin this calm and rewarding mental adventure together. Today, we will not talk about philosophy as something we read about, but as something we do. We will dive deep into the Stoic philosophy, not just to understand its history, but to steal its practical secrets. In this video, I will give you 3 powerful Stoic techniques that you can start using tomorrow to change the way you think, and to build your own inner citadel. Before we unveil these intellectual weapons, let's understand the core of Stoicism. Imagine your life is a ship sailing on an unpredictable ocean. There are things you can control: the rudder of the ship, the sails, your destination. And there are things you can never control: the weather, the waves, the sudden storms. Stoicism begins with this simple and powerful distinction, which the philosopher Epictetus calls the dichotomy of control. The philosophy states that everything in life falls into 2 categories: what is within our power to control, and what is outside of our control. What can we control? Our thoughts, our judgments about things, our desires, our actions, and our values. This is our playground. This is our inner kingdom. And what is outside our control? Almost everything else. Our health, our wealth, our reputation, what others think of us, the weather, the past, and the future. The Stoics say that 99% of our suffering comes from our desperate attempt to control the uncontrollable and our neglect of what we can actually control. Happiness and tranquility do not come from changing the external world to fit our desires, but from changing our internal world to fit reality. It is a call to build an impregnable inner citadel, which no external event can ever breach. Now, how do we build this citadel? Let's start with the first technique, which may seem strange at first glance: the premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum. The philosopher Seneca says, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Yet he himself practiced this mental exercise every morning. The exercise is simple. Sit down each morning for a few minutes and imagine that everything you fear happening has already happened. Imagine you lost your job. Imagine someone insulted you. Imagine you fell ill. Imagine the worst-case scenarios for your day. The goal is not pessimism or summoning negative energy. The goal is psychological vaccination. Just as a small dose of a virus gives your immune system the strength to fight the real virus, a small dose of disaster in your imagination gives your mind the resilience and strength to handle any real misfortune that might occur. When you imagine the worst possibilities, 2 things happen. First, you often realize that you are capable of handling them, and that they are not the end of the world as you thought. Second, if something bad does happen during the day, it won't be a shock. Your mind will be prepared, and it will say, "I expected this, and I know what to do." This exercise transforms anxiety about the unknown into preparedness for the known. The second technique takes us on a cosmic journey, and it's called the view from above. The Emperor Marcus Aurelius practiced this exercise to put his worries into their true perspective. Close your eyes now and imagine with me. Imagine you are floating outside your body, seeing yourself sitting in your room. Then rise higher to see your house, then your neighborhood, then your entire city as an illuminated map. Keep rising. See your country, then your continent, then our beautiful blue planet suspended in the vastness of space. Don't stop. Rise further to see our solar system, then our Milky Way galaxy with its 100 billion stars. Then watch our galaxy become just a speck of light among billions of other galaxies in the visible universe. Now, From this vast cosmic perspective, where is that problem that was troubling you minutes ago? Where is that insult you received? Where is that anxiety about the future? It has evaporated. It has become trivial, barely worth mentioning. This exercise is not meant to diminish the importance of your problems, but to put them in their proper context. It reminds us that we are part of something much, much larger, and that most of our daily worries are just storms in a teacup. This perspective grants us humility, reduces the inflation of the ego, and makes us calmer and more accepting. The third and final technique for today is perhaps the most powerful and practical in our daily lives: separating events from judgments. Epictetus states his timeless phrase, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This idea is the heart of Stoicism. The external event itself is completely neutral. It is just an objective fact. What causes us pain, anger, or sadness is not the event, but the story we tell ourselves about that event. Example: your car broke down on the road. This is an objective event. The story you might tell yourself is, "What terrible luck! My day is completely ruined. Why does this always happen to me?" This is the judgment, and it is the source of the suffering. A Stoic trains to pause for a moment and separate the two. They see the event as it is, just a fact, and then consciously choose not to add a negative and destructive judgment to it. When someone criticizes you, that is an event. Your judgment might be, "He is belittling me, I am a failure." The Stoic says, "Someone uttered some words. That is the fact. Whether these words are an insult to me or proof of my failure is just an interpretation, and I choose not to accept it." This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being the master of your emotions, not their slave. You choose your reaction. You choose the story you tell yourself. And that is true power. The premeditation of evils, the view from above, and separating events from judgments. These are not just nice ideas. They are practical exercises, tools you can use to build your inner citadel, a fortress of tranquility and resilience in the face of life's chaos. Stoicism does not promise you a life free of problems. That is an illusion. But it does promise that you can be stronger than your problems. It doesn't offer easy happiness, but it offers something more valuable: inner strength and lasting peace of mind. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and comfort, Stoicism invites us to a different path. The path of virtue, self-discipline, and courageously accepting what we cannot change. Until then, tell me in the comments, which of these 3 techniques resonated with you the most, and will you start trying it? Thank you for watching, and always remember what Seneca said: "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." I'll see you in the next episode.